So the next stage is essentially taking your cartoon character and trying to give it some form of an emotion. So let's go into our drawing here of a cartoon character, where we're going to start off with our basic sphere. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a very simple cartoon character of a rabbit, let's say, and we'll take and just go through the process of drawing the character. And what I'll do is I'll verbalize what it is that I'm thinking as I'm drawing, to give you a sense of what your thought process should be. It's important that, again, as I mentioned before, that you think about what you're doing as you're doing it. Otherwise, if you're not thinking, you're doodling. I can't stress that enough. So what I've done is I've drawn my sphere on here, and now I'm going in and drawing my cross contours to get the attitude of the character's head, the angle of the character's head on. And now I'm just going to start to draw the character's facial features on. So my first line that I drew here was a crease line that is just on the bridge, the bridge of the nose, and the actual nose piece itself that's right here. And so I'm going to draw this as sort of a triangular shape that comes down like that. Then I'm going to take and do a cross contour on here, dividing in half, and again you can see that the distance from here to here is greater than here to here because it's on a bit of an angle. The next step would be to extend this line down as a center line and define where the character's mouth is. And then I'm just going to draw this shape down here, draw the teeth on. And this will be the part of the mouth and the lower part of the lips, the cheek area. Then I can extend this out, bring this out into a sort of a back part of a cheek area here. I'm just drawing in very, very lightly at first, just to sort of search out and feel, is this the appropriate size that I want the character's cheeks to be. And I don't have to worry about, putting down this line that's etched in stone, so that when I do, decide to make any revisions at some point in time, I can always go back and erase it down just very, very lightly and still have the general essence of my drawing without having to go right through the paper to the other side in order to erase a line. So I'm just sketching in very, very lightly at first, just wispy lines to get the general idea. Now I'm going to draw the center line up here. I'm going to draw the character's eyes on. The eye that's closest to us here. I think I might want to pull that open just a little bit more. Again, here's that example where you can see drawing lightly pays off because you haven't drawn the line in hard, so you can just go back and touch it up. You notice that what I did there was I made a decision as I was drawing. I thought about, did I like that line? And I answered myself immediately, nope, don't like the line. I'm going to change it and alter it to a different position to suit my needs, and you go ahead and make the change. And again, this is part of the process of thinking through what you're doing. Next, I'm going to go in here and draw that brow across there. Let's give the character an eye direction here. And what I'm doing here is, as I'm drawing this cartoon character, I'm sort of designing him on the spot, and just trying to decide within my own mind, what do I want the character to look like? I'm just doing sort of a neutral type of a pose, not worrying too much about the expression at this point in time, because I'm just sort of feeling the character out for the first time and saying, does this character look like a half-decent character that I like? So now I'm starting to go in and pencil my lines in a little bit more hard because I'm happy with some of the lines that are there. Put whiskers out here. This, and I'll go up into the top of the head and just maybe refine this head a little bit more, flatten out the top of it a little bit, pull out a couple of tufts of hair just to accentuate the center line coming down there and bring the brow up and across. And then what I can now do is I can go in and start to rough out where my ears are. And just working the basic shape there, not worrying about where the final lines are because I can always go in and alter them. But the whole time, again, I'm thinking about the perspective of the character, how the ears are working in perspective in relation to the eyes across here, and the nose and the mouth, all the way going off to a vanishing point over here. And I'm also thinking about the general shape of this ear and how it works, and thinking about, okay, now if I look at it on another angle, where this ear over here is off to the side. I might see more space over here on this side and less space on this side now than I would over here on this side. So now I'm just going to go in and finish off the way the final line on the ears goes, put a couple of little tufts of hair up there to find the final edge for the dimension of the ear there. And bring the fleshy part up and around. Do the ear on the closest edge here, closest side to the viewer. And see, the technique that I'm using when I'm drawing here is called the feathering technique, because I'm going in and drawing my line in layers. I'm not being definitive about actually hitting the line and drawing it purely, because I want to be careful to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. And in the rough sketching stage you can get away with something like that, but when you actually go down to your final clean line, that's when you actually want to go in and start being very careful about how you precisely draw the line, like the way I'm doing it right now. So there's my character. There's neck on here.